Get ready for the next hour. It's your complete breakdown of what everyone is talking about with high school, college, and professional sports. Brought to you by Magnolia Blues, Buckbuster Seed & Company, Sullivan Ford Lincoln, and Clint's Pharmacy. We are live at Magnolia Blues with your show host, Ryan Case, Paden Phillips, and Trey Waterloo with Sports Buzz on B92.1 The Boss.
Paden Phillips alongside Ryan Case and Trey Waterloo, again coming to you live from Magnolia Blues. So before we get things started here, let's obviously jump right into and thank our great sponsors that we have. Clint's Pharmacy, Buckbuster Seed Company, Sullivan Ford Lincoln, and of course our home territory here and our broadcast location, Magnolia Blues. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Well, I think we've got to admit something right off the bat.
What's up?
With Magnolia Blues, we all agreed on air to venture off the menu and try something new. And I came in, I was an innocent bystander.
We were kind of trying to be sneaky about it.
Yeah,
I came in.
Maybe he won't figure it out.
And Dr. Case and Paden repeated their order from the previous 2 weeks.
I was telling Ryan, I knew he was going to say something about it. And I was telling Ryan before, it's like, I'd been on the road all day, I'd been traveling, and I just wanted one good thing to happen. And it was literally sticking to what I know was good, and the American burger I can always lean back on. And again, it is something to be reckoned with here this evening. That's exactly. I'm still eating it right now.
So you got the American burger, and Doc, you went with Old Faithful.
The nachos, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I want to be a team player, so I ordered up that bacon blue burger.
There you go, right now. So let's just dive right into it, see what we've got on the agenda for here this evening. So as far as local goes, West Lincoln versus the Pisgah Dragons was this past Friday night. That was your game of the week. And getting to be at that game, first of all, have you guys ever ventured over to West Lincoln by any chance?
Yeah, I've been to West Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so getting to watch them, main reason I'm asking is because, this is the first time that I've actually gotten to officially watch them and follow them, and other than just repeating some scores that we have for them. But watching that game from both sides, judging from the way Pisgah played and from the way West Lincoln played, we're going to hopefully be talking about just what it means to play smart football. And that actually might spawn and branch off into some other areas that we're going to be speaking here tonight. But also we've got
he was trying to segue. We're not going to let him.
A little bit of a segue, and right there. But we're going to hang tight on that. So I want to talk about just what we think about when we come to across the boards as it is football season, what it means to play smart football, and kind of dive into that. We also got scores for all the other county games we have here this past Friday, and we will kick it off from that. That's what we got for high school and local. What you got for college, Ryan?
I'm just going to kind of recap some of the SEC games. I think, there was one game in particular that the outcome may have been a little bit surprising, was the
Ole Miss Alabama game?
Yeah.
Surprising that it wasn't worse than it was.
And MSU, I think, kind of did competed like most folks thought they would against their team. LSU Auburn was kind of to me the matchup of the week, kind of two evenly matched teams, and that game certainly didn't disappoint going down to the very end. USM's game got canceled versus Appalachian State because of the storms. So I'm not sure if they're going to reschedule that one as of yet. Give you a score update for the two local community colleges. I was at the BA game. Can talk about that a little bit if you guys want to. Yesterday, went to the Dome to watch the Saints play the Bucks.
You knew that.
Yeah, I know. But
the Saints play the Browns.
Our listeners didn't, and I was just encouraging.
He was our reporter on the field.
We had a Sports Buzz report straight from the field, not only from the BA field, but I was
also
there
in official capacity.
New Orleans.
Yeah,
awesome.
In the locker room, everything.
And pro.
First thing, let me say it is my fourth daughter's 8th birthday tonight.
Happy birthday.
So she's having her birthday cake. So happy birthday, Polly. Daddy loves you. I'll be home soon.
There you go.
A lot of great things happen.
Trey's going to cut out in like 10 minutes.
A lot of great things happen in the program. We've got some great headlines to talk about. I think some good conversations to have. Season's starting to shape up a little bit. Yep. Starting to see who's for real and who's not. And then there's some surprises in the NFL, frankly. And then I'll give you an update on the NASCAR. We had our first playoff race. I'll give you an update there, kind of who's on the bubble going to the next two races in the first round. We got the PGA returning this week for the Tour Championship. I'll give you some tee times, and then we'll also recap the Ryder Cup players.
Sounds great. Sounds good. So we'll that's what we got coming up, and then at the end of the show we've got picks, scores, and schedules for all this week. I think we ran into we might touch on the picks, I guess, when we get to your college segment there, but we will have official picks from all three of us, the scores for the last week's game, both high school and pro if we don't hit that, and then schedules for this week as well. That's your quick intro. Thank you so much for joining us. Come on back to B92 on Sports Buzz right after this. Stay tuned. We'll take a 2-minute break.
Hello, I'm Lavelle Sullivan with Quick Lane Tire and Auto. If you're looking for a place to service your vehicle, then Quick Lane has you covered. We service all makes and models, whether you're driving a Dodge, a Chevy, Toyota, or a Jeep. We're open on Saturdays, and we're authorized dealer for 13 brands of tires. We offer 90 days same as cash, and no appointment is ever necessary. If you need tires, brakes, batteries, or just an oil change, then Quick Lane's your place. Quick Lane Tire and Auto, next to Walmart, Brookhaven.
There is no better place to get all your local and complete pharmacy needs than at Clint's Pharmacy in Brookhaven. Come inside and visit the best greeting card selection in town, with all cards just 99 cents. But those days you are in a hurry, you can use Clint's convenient and fast drive-thru line. Now inside Clint's Pharmacy is Complete Family Medical, a clinic that takes walk-ins to get you in and out. Clint's Pharmacy, 201 Highway 51 North, Brookhaven. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and Saturday, 8 to noon. Looking for a place to catch the game on Saturdays? Come visit Magnolia Blues Barbecue Company in Brookhaven. With large TVs all around, you can order from a full menu with the best and the biggest nachos in town. Enjoy Wednesday open mic and live music on the weekends. Let Magnolia Blues take care of your next catering event. Open Monday through Friday, 3 to 10, and Saturday, 2 to 10. Magnolia Blues Barbecue in Brookhaven, 505 West Monticello Street.
Hunters, entice the big deer onto your food plots with Buckbuster seed mixes. You'll find the right mix perfect for seasonal or year-round forage production. It's specifically formulated for the Southeast, and they are the most complete and cost-effective seed mixes available. BuckbusterSeedCompany.com. Hunters, your food plots will be frequent stops for deer when you plant Buckbuster seed mixes. And the young deer will grow to be trophy bucks with proper nutrition from Buckbuster seeds. Find out what's in it and where you can get it at BuckbusterSeedCompany.com.
And welcome back, everybody, to Sports Buzz, coming to you live here from Magnolia Blues on B92. Thank you again so much for joining us, all who are out there and all who have come out here to support us here in-house as well. I think
got a pretty decent crowd out here.
I think we keep big here. People are funneling into the dining room, and I can't really hear through the headphones, but I think they're actually playing us throughout the restaurant. So that'll be
really
good if we are in there. I know that's the plan, but
we've just woven ourselves into the fabric here at Magnolia Blues.
It is Magnolia Blues and Sports Buzz.
And look, get down here. They got the Monday Night Football games going to be starting here shortly. Great TVs.
Yep.
They've got a full bar, and of course the menu that we keep talking about. So if you're sitting at home listening to us, or you're on your way home from work, getting out late, come on down here to Magnolia Blues.
Absolutely, yeah.
Get you some food and watch the game.
It's like we said, we're falling back on what we know is good. We got the Blues Burger, barbecue nachos, and the American Burger across the board, and it's good stuff.
Saw Khalil Mack on the TV there. You don't think Gruden's still wishing he was on his team after?
Well, he came out and said no, but he's lying. Yeah.
So let's dive right into our first segment that we got here, local sports for you. Like we said at the top of the show, West Lincoln versus the Pisgah Dragons was your game of the week this past Friday, and you guys were at the BA game. It was a rain delay down there. What, lightning delay for a while?
I wasn't at the game, Doc.
You went?
Yeah, I went to the game. Yeah, it was supposed to start about 7. Of course, right as players got done warming up, about 8. Just a few minutes after 7, the lightning and rain set in. So. Right. We probably waited about 90 minutes. The game started
that is a momentum.
Where's that down? Is Bogalusa?
Yep. Bogalusa, kind of off the beaten path there. Ben's Ford Christian Academy. Nice little school. So.
It looks like we might have got our offense going again, and let me just ask this, because we talked about it pretty heavily last week. Was Nick Ogden running the ball?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, and I don't know if it had more to do with the weather. It was pretty muddy and stuff, but we were pretty ground attack heavy. So
with Nick?
With Nick, yeah.
He had 4 touchdowns.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he had a good game. I think Nick had 10 carries for just shy of 150 yards. Also noteworthy there, Cade Brown had 3 touchdowns on kickoff returns. So 3 in a row.
3 kickoff returns?
Yeah, for touchdown.
Come on now.
Yeah. I'd never seen anything like that before. One of them.
Doc, your phone, when it dings like that, we hear it.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Like, y'all have been hearing that for a few weeks. Doc's a pretty important guy.
Yeah.
And so that phone starts dinging. So just silence that thing down, Doc, so we don't realize how important you are.
I figured if it was okay if I heard you chew French fries, that it was okay if my phone went off.
Fair enough. Very good.
So BA was coming off that unfortunate loss last Friday, so definitely we see a good shift in momentum, and I think they're playing Silman this coming Friday, and then they'll roll into homecoming next week. So hopefully they can build off that momentum. But I want to talk a little bit about West Lincoln and Pisgah. So the reason I wanted to kind of maybe kick off this conversation right now of just what it is to play smart football. First of all, let's just get y'all's definition on that. When someone says we got to play smart football, what is it? What comes to your mind when y'all think of that?
Well, to me, I mean, you have 11 jobs on every given play, and smart football is executing those 11 jobs. And if everybody on the field is doing what they're supposed to do, you might not get a great result. But if you're doing your job, you at least give a play a chance.
Would you echo that or got something different, Ron?
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, I think it comes down to, players not making mistakes when they shouldn't make mistakes.
Right.
If that makes sense. I mean, there's always going to be things teams execute well and you get beat fair and square, but I think kind of handing things to the other team, not doing that's kind of my definition of smart football. I don't think it means you'll win every game by any means, but hopefully you won't lose some of them that you're better matched up against.
Yeah, I mean, you just might have better athletes against you. There's only so much you can do schematically to overcome that. And it's always interesting to watch coaches, the play calling in particular is smart football is taking what the defense or the offense is giving you.
That's actually
trying to match that.
That's a good point. That's what I was going to say. I think that this is coming definitely from watching it, and again, not being very neutral of both teams, West Lincoln and Pisgah. I was looking at it strictly on the fundamental part of it, which is if you're focused on straight fundamentals, which in my opinion, football is running ball with ball security, tackling on defense, and then catching the ball on the receiving part. That's it. I think that's what makes a football game. That's what makes smart football. And if you stick to that, if you are going up against someone who has better athletes against you, you're at least doing your job, like you said.
Yeah.
So one thing that I could definitely say about West Lincoln and Pisgah, and again from both sides, is that it was just both teams early in the game, especially the first half, are beating themselves.
Yeah.
And it was kind of unfortunate to watch, just because neither team was taking the time to really attack the weaknesses of either team in the first half. I mean, for instance,
what was the score?
The final score of West Lincoln versus Pisgah was 37-12. So that's why I was talking about first half. Is that later Pisgah did kind of come up, and I think it was more on the flip side is that West Lincoln kind of then started beating themselves a little bit more than Pisgah was beating themselves. If that makes sense.
Well, I would think that I don't know too much about Pisgah, but they might have been trying some things.
That's true. But again, going back to that fundamentals thing, West Lincoln's bread and butter for the first half was inside powers and sweeps. It wasn't anything, anyone like different than any like BA team or BHS. I mean, yeah, we're dealing with different levels of athletic atonement and involvement there, but it really was just there was no secure smart playing at that for both teams periodically. But towards the end of the game, it was. It really was kind of a reflection on that. I think it's just there was no Pisgah couldn't stop the inside running game and the outside sweeps on West Lincoln, and then towards the end of the game, a lot of mistakes, a lot of fumbles, a lot of just not really thinking behind the ball is what ultimately beat West Lincoln. But overall, I will say is that West Lincoln has a really good team. Enrico Price really stood out. Their running back. He's a fierce player. He is there to play just straight smash mouth football on both sides of the ball. He runs the ball incredibly hard when he gets it. He was a big tunnel screen go-to receiver, and he and especially I think towards the end of the game when West Lincoln was down by that 15 points or 25 points or whatever, that he kind of saw that the end was in sight, but he did not let that affect him at all. He came to life and was making some incredibly hard hits, hard tackles, just really across the board. He would, I would say, if we were to give a player of the week, he would be my player of the week because of the way he played from the start to finish, and that was that smart football.
But they just got to get. They've got to get more athletes.
Yeah.
I think they play football and are football minded really to put a program together.
Yeah. And across the board, I guess this is nationwide or it's just countywide or whatever, but just the amount of teams that I've witnessed in both really the MAIS and some public schools that are around, it's almost like every school is having to deal with a transition year. You know what I mean? Like or transition years.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of the ebb and flow in high school football. Some one year you'll have, and a couple guys can make the difference.
Sure.
You can have that guy and his brother, and they're playing, and you're rocking and rolling, and then. In a couple of years they're gone, and maybe you're low on skill players or athletes. So I think that's just kind of how it goes. You got to capitalize and make the best you can when you have it.
You got to develop. That's why the Pee Wee programs are so important and vital to these high school feeder programs.
Junior high,
you got to develop them.
Yeah, junior high is that building block.
Yeah.
When you get in that JV league, and I think it's really. Again, I think, and it boils down to one of the simplest facts. You've got to find kids or find athletes in whatever form or fashion that really want to play football. You can't throw, and and I don't want to say anything that could, mess anything up, but I think what a lot of it is a lot of players who don't think football is their main sport are having to fill those gaps. You know what I mean? Like we have basketball players who are playing football and baseball players who are playing football. We need to find, or county schools and schools across the board in Mississippi, I think, are just needing to find better players to start at Pee Wee, roll them in junior high, who really enjoy loving playing the game, and that will develop their game more than anything. I think that's ultimately what it boils down to. But
I think what you're talking about is part of it's probably a shift, with worries about concussions and injuries and millennial parents. I don't think they're too excited about signing their kid up for football.
And that's a shame. I mean, it's.
Well, it's a reality of kind of the landscape, and it's starting in the NFL down, and you'll see that continue to trickle. It's an American game, and it's a violent game, and I think it's going to continue to be important landscape, especially in the South. Yeah. But it will be interesting to see how the game continues to evolve.
Right, and that's what it's doing. We've even talked about here on the show about so many more rules that have been changing. Like in the last 5 years, the head-to-head contact shots that have been in the news for the NFL since the last 5 years, and that's obvious. But I think it trickles down from that. There's so many more rules that have been thrown in the SEC, in the NFL, and even in high school and local. So, it all boils down to that. I do want West Lincoln again played a good team. They played a good game across the board. I think it ultimately is just they basically beat themselves at the end of the night with just a few mistakes. So. I think that'll do it for us for high school.
What did BHS do?
BHS was off this past week.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what about Bogachita?
Bogachita, we got beat Salem 43-22, but we'll get the rest of those scores for you towards the end of the show.
Gotcha.
Scores, picks, and schedules coming up. So let's take another quick 2-minute break. We'll be right back on Sports Buzz right here from Magnolia Blues. We'll be right back.
Deer hunters looking for the best fall seed mix on the market? Buckbusters has 36% protein, contains 8 varieties of winter forage in the basic mix, and 11 varieties in the premium mix. One bag does 1 acre. It's specifically formulated for the Southeast. Contact your local seed dealer or Buckbusters at buckbusterseedcompany.com or call toll-free 1-800-562-4570. Buckbusters, the most complete and cost-effective seed mixes available.
Hello, this is Will Thibodeau with Sullivan Ford Lincoln. Football season is officially here, and we're kicking off our biggest sales of the year at Sullivan. With up to $8,000 off 2018 Expedition, 0% for 72 months on most models, plus cash back and no payments for 90 days, there's definitely never been a better time to buy. Bring your trade and trade up to a new Ford or Lincoln while the selection is best. Come see our family here or visit us on the World Wide Web at SullivanFordLincoln.com. Sullivan Ford Lincoln. We're better, we're proving it, and we want you to be the judge. Exit 40 Brookhaven.
There is no better place to get all your local and complete pharmacy needs than at Clint's Pharmacy in Brookhaven. Come inside and visit the best greeting card selection in town, with all cards just 99 cents. But those days you are in a hurry, you can use Clint's convenient and fast drive-thru line. Now inside Clint's Pharmacy is Complete Family Medical, a clinic that takes walk-ins to get you in and out. Clint's Pharmacy, 201 Highway 51 North, Brookhaven. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and Saturday, 8 to noon. Looking for a place to catch the game on Saturdays? Come visit Magnolia Blues Barbecue Company in Brookhaven. With large TVs all around, you can order from a full menu with the best and the biggest nachos in town. Enjoy Wednesday open mic and live music on the weekends. Let Magnolia Blues take care of your next catering event. Open Monday through Friday, 3 to 10, and Saturday, 2 to 10. Magnolia Blues Barbecue in Brookhaven, 505 West Monticello Street.
Welcome back to Sports Buzz, live from Magnolia Blues Barbecue here on Monday night. Got the game going, got a lot of good food, some bigger crowd in here than usual. I think maybe the game's helping pulling them in.
I think we're pulling them.
We're pulling them in, yeah. That's what I was kind of wondering.
Sneakily in there.
Has nothing to do with Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
It's all about this show.
All about the buzz.
That's right. Just to kind of give folks an update.
Do you want to skip the college section? Y'all want to skip it?
Not even a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
For a couple of reasons.
Said a Rebel fan, huh?
Oh, man.
Yeah, so Colin picked up their second win of the year Thursday night, beating Pearl River at home 49-0. Had a pretty,
shutout.
Pretty impressive offensive performance, 420 yards. That sets them up 1-0 in the division, 2-1 for the year. Their next game will be next Thursday versus the Northwest Rangers at 7 p.m. Southwest Bears, they didn't fare quite as well as Colin. They lost to East Central Warriors 28-21. That was also their divisional play opener. And so they are at 0-1 in the division. And their next game would be versus Hines Eagles at home on Thursday, 9/20 at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Switching gears to the state game, I didn't get to watch the entire game. I probably watched the first quarter of it, State versus the Raging Cajuns, and really for about the first half of the first quarter, I was a little worried. You know, it just kind of looked like we weren't able to do much. The passes weren't there, and you know, ULL was moving the ball pretty good. But in the end, I think State kind of performed like most folks would think they would. They won 49-3 in that game, and so I think sometimes even if you have a team like Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns, which is a skilled team, but just a total size disadvantage.
Right.
So I think those teams can sometimes hang around for a quarter or two, but then just wind up getting beat up, pounded, and then the last half of the game, it's just, you know, it's a free for all for the bigger teams. So.
Who does State play this week?
Got a schedule for you right here somewhere.
I mean, are they going to get into?
I think it's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a game.
Yeah, their next two games will be interesting. Kentucky, is that at Kentucky or? I think
it is at Kentucky.
Yeah, I know their following game they'll play Florida at home. So
they got a couple of weeks scheduled. Yeah.
You know, I got an interesting something for you on that. My dad is a lifelong Ole Miss Rebel fan. Never been to Starkville for a game against the Rebels. But he is going with one of his buddies to see the Florida State game because he wants to see Dan Mullen get beat.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So how about that?
There'll be high drama there.
Shout out to Dan. Nice job.
I think for me, the kind of the most competitive down to the wire game was that LSU Auburn game.
No doubt.
I kind of picked them almost as a jest. I was really kind of, you know, I was a little surprised that they kind of held out and won with a last minute field goal.
I mean, there's probably people starting to throw away that hot seat down there in Baton Rouge for Coach O.
Yeah.
That I think I didn't get to watch the game. You messaging us over the weekend, kind of telling me that was the kind of eye opener for me, and I just looked up a little bit of information on it. And Burrow did pretty well leading, getting him down there in that position.
Yeah,
I guess
he did.
It was just pulling that out was finally the little nail in the coffin for him. But
LSU always has a good defense, always has good running backs. Just that quarterback position that's always been kind of tough for them to fill. But if they ever get that together and get that rolling, I mean, they're gonna.
And they seem pretty disciplined. They're not getting penalized a lot. I mean, that's something you got to watch.
They had caught a lucky break on. I know, didn't they? Auburn got 2 pass interference plays right there at the end that helped that positioning well. So I guess the penalties helped them on that one. So they were playing smart, coverage ball on that one. So I do know that was a little bit of the information right there at the end of the game.
Yeah. But, so that was a good one. Then I guess
that's all the games in the SEC West.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Take a break. Let's swing off of that one. Yeah. We both have sour taste in our mouth over.
I will say in the Rebels' defense, I kind of get the feeling, and I've read a little bit about this too, that a lot of folks may think this may be the best Alabama team that's been around for a while. As far
I appreciate that, Doc.
Offensive side.
The bottom line in Oxford, and I just think that we just don't have an answer on defense. And
question on that: you don't have an answer on defense for Alabama or for anyone?
Period. Let me just give you a statistic.
Go for it.
Y'all like a statistic?
Love it.
The University of Mississippi Ole Miss Rebel Landshark defense ranks 127th out of 130 FBS teams, allowing 543 yards per game so far in the first 3 games.
Is it personnel? Strictly? I mean, like what from your perspective?
I think there's some personnel. From my perspective, it's coaching.
Okay.
I think that our plan is not working. And Alabama's a better team than Ole Miss.
Sure.
Right? Let's just get that out of the way. And I'm not one of those Ole Miss fans that think because we beat them 2 years in a row, 3 years ago, that somehow that translates into today's reality.
Yeah,
because it doesn't. Didn't expect to win. Expect to be more competitive. All right. Expect to be not blown out. Call it a lucky touchdown if you want in the first play of the game. People start getting excited, and then you lose, 62 points. And that's abysmal.
I mean, man, they got Russell Wilson back there, though. I mean, that's what that kid looks like to me. I mean,
well, he's a great player. I mean, and it's Alabama. I mean, I get all that, but still, 62-7, that's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that game. Again, I caught the first little bit of it. It was like 14-7 early on, and that was from the Ole Miss fans that I was around. Had everybody's eyes glued to the screen that was there. And then I guess talking to you today again, because hadn't heard about it. I was doing other stuff, hadn't heard about it. The 62-7 there was you telling me that I had no idea that it got.
And I mean, when we talked about this last week, we made a joke about Alabama's third string defense, offense and defense. Well, so the third and fourth stringers only scored 20 points in the second half.
Yeah,
so it's 42-7 at half.
And there are games across the board that you could win with 20 points in some cases, which is nuts to me.
I mean, Alabama's great. I think they do have a great team. I think they're going to be a problem for everybody they face. But the Rebels certainly should. They have the facilities, they have the opportunity, and they have the money to support, the financial support to where they need to be a better program than that. That's just the bottom line. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, USM's game against Appalachian State, that got postponed due to the weather, but their next game is against Rice coming up. That's really about all I had. I didn't have a ton of time.
What about the play of the week?
Yeah. Okay. I thought we were.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I could spout off on that.
Was that the Arkansas play?
That was one of the most interesting plays I've ever seen in college football or any football.
It looked like backyard football to me when you watch it, or like when you watch it back. And
were you watching it live?
I had caught that one play live, luckily, and it was. I had clicked. I had immediately changed it to any other channel after that. But what happened?
Those of you who have not been listening or just tuning in for the first time, Paden is a diehard Arkansas fan and alumni.
Yeah, just love it. So what happened is that, first of all, they were playing North Texas. It wasn't like they were playing A&M or any big team. It was North Texas.
And they got manhandled.
The final score of them was like 47-12, if I'm correct on that one, but anyway.
I'm laughing like I have something to laugh about.
Yeah, really. So what happened is that North Texas, and this play that I'm fixing to talk about was not a spur-of-the-moment thing. It was not like, hey, let's try this when you go out there, see if it works. This has been something that has been going on at North Texas for a while now. It was a punt return play set up to where the punt was made, and Razorbacks were punting to North Texas. The punt was made, and the guy, Keegan Brewer, who was the punt returner, stood there and clasped the ball into his shoulder pads in the same kind of like after look of what it would be like to look like a fair catch. But no fair catch was called. And there's evidence on the video. It's all over the internet. It has gone viral from a lot of places. And what happened is that as soon as Brewer got that opening, he ran for a 90-yard touchdown run. And I guess it is another prime example of smart football, because everywhere I've looked, people were going immediately to Chad Morris, the coach for Razorbacks, or the head coach of the Razorbacks, and they were asking, how does that happen? How do you let that happen? And his basic answer was, I've always coached my boys and told them at practice to play to the whistle. And there was no whistle, so there's really no blame to be made other than the players not listening for appropriate, calls to be made. So it was. I'm hoping that this is some sort of a wake-up call just across the board. That it was like a wake-up call is the best way to put it. Is that we can get Cole Kelly out of there, not Chad Kelly. I remember messing that up last week. Cole Kelly out of there and put Ty Story in. He played real well against Colorado at the beginning of the year, so I think he's deserving that time to come back in. But it was just dumb. That's the only way that I can put it. Is that Grant Morris, who was the defender that was supposed to make the tackle on Brewer, was like so close to him that I think Brewer even said after the game, he was like, I could hear Grant Morris say to me, why didn't they blow the whistle? And then I guess his answer to that was him running to the end.
Well, the thing that's so interesting about it from watching the replays, obviously I didn't see it live because I wouldn't be watching an Arkansas game live unless they were playing Ole Miss, but this is fair.
Fair enough.
But the guy timed it perfectly kind of when he started his motor. He brought it in and then there's three Arkansas players kind of around him, like they're running up to him, and then they kind of, as they spring off, and then just as soon as they sort of turned their way, he took off, and it was like, whoa.
That brings up a good point. Is that,
if I was the coach of North Texas, I'd actually be a little fearful to tell a player to do that.
Sure.
Well,
You got to be.
I mean, what if that kid gets
if the player's paying attention, there's no fair catch call, he cleans his clock. Ends his career.
Yeah, that's
not a
point.
Fun conversation with athletics,
with his mom.
Yeah, it was all. This was like I said, this was not a spur of the moment thing. This was not something that they said, hey, go try this seconds before it happened. They've been practicing this particular scenario since last fall.
Just a quick update for y'all live. The Chicago Bears scored the first touchdown.
There you go.
6-0.
And it's something they've been trying to do, and I guess it was just the poor Razorbacks were the victims of it, and it worked. So that's all I'm going to say about the Razorbacks, and I think my pick at the end of the night for that game is going to reflect how I feel about it.
I got you.
That's all I got on my poor performance from my team.
Yeah.
So, anything else you got, Brian?
Do you guys want me to go over the Saints game a little bit, or save that for the next?
Why don't we save that? We'll save it for pro.
All right.
So take us to break.
Good deal. All right, come right back. We'll be right back in 2 minutes on Sports Buzz live on B92.1 FM.
Looking for a place to catch the game on Saturdays? Come visit Magnolia Blues Barbecue Company in Brookhaven. With large TVs all around, you can order from a full menu with the best and the biggest nachos in town. Enjoy Wednesday open mic and live music on the weekends. Let Magnolia Blues take care of your next catering event. Open Monday through Friday 3 to 10 and Saturday 2 to 10. Magnolia Blues Barbecue in Brookhaven, 505 West Monticello Street.
Hunters, entice the big deer onto your food plots with Buckbuster seed mixes. You'll find the right mix perfect for seasonal or year-round forage production. It's specifically formulated for the Southeast, and they are the most complete and cost-effective seed mixes available. BuckbusterSeedCompany.com. Hunters, your food plots will be frequent stops for deer when you plant Buckbuster seed mixes. And the young deer will grow to be trophy bucks with proper nutrition from Buckbuster seeds. Find out what's in it and where you can get it at BuckbusterSeedCompany.com.
Hello, I'm Lavelle Sullivan with Quick Lane Tire and Auto. If you're looking for a place to service your vehicle, then Quick Lane has you covered. We service all makes and models, whether you're driving a Dodge, a Chevy, Toyota, or a Jeep. We're open on Saturdays, and we're authorized dealer for 13 brands of tires. We offer 90 days same as cash, and no appointment is ever necessary. If you need tires, brakes, batteries, or just an oil change, then Quick Lane's your place. Quick Lane Tire and Auto, next to Walmart, Brookhaven.
There is no better place to get all your local and complete pharmacy needs than at Clint's Pharmacy in Brookhaven. Come inside and visit the best greeting card selection in town, with all cards just 99 cents. But those days you are in a hurry, you can use Clint's convenient and fast drive-thru line. Now inside Clint's Pharmacy is Complete Family Medical, a clinic that takes walk-ins to get you in and out. Clint's Pharmacy, 201 Highway 51 North, Brookhaven. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and Saturday, 8 to noon.
All right, we're coming back. 5, 4, 3.
Oh, we're back. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back right here to Magnolia Blues. And as mentioned, the Chicago Bears just scored their first touchdown on Monday Night Football in the first series, so they're up 7-0. Thanks, Paden.
You're welcome.
And all right, so Doc was at the Saints game, so I think the best way to start the pro segment is just kind of go into the Saints game. Doc, you want to give us a firsthand sports buzz review of a professional game?
Yeah. So, about once a year, the fam, we head down to the Dome. It's kind of a nostalgic thing for us. We've always done that since the kids were young. So, decided to go down there for the Browns game because we thought that Jeremy Falk, who trained here, he's a pro player, he's actually, looked like he had a defensive tackle position kind of locked up for the Browns, but he wound up getting waived. So, but anyway, best of luck to him.
But you'd already bought the tickets.
But I'd already bought the tickets, yeah.
We're going, kids. Get in the car.
Otherwise, probably wouldn't have picked the Browns, quite honestly.
Right, yeah.
But
well, why don't you just reach back in and pick you another game?
Really?
I mean, are you limited to the one game? Come on, Doc.
No, we splurge every once in a while. I guess we could.
Why don't you take your buddies down?
It's always good to.
We'll hop up in the car truck with you. Let's
see
go.
The Dirty Birds.
Yeah.
The Falcons is always a good one. The Dome gets the loudest for that one.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Sure.
But overall, the Saints have been fairly unimpressive to me. I mean, when you look at what was kind of predicted or how they would be or what their expectations were, to me, the offense was lackluster for the first three quarters. Now, they did turn it on and basically scored 18 points in the fourth quarter, which whenever you have Drew Brees as a quarterback, no matter how bad things may be looking, you always know that, at any point, if things will turn around. Yeah. So the defense looked good to me, and that's always been kind of the Achilles heel for the Saints. They allowed the Browns to score 18 points, which I don't really know quite how to judge that, how many points that translates to a team that's won a game in the past 2 years, So I'm not really sure what that means, but kind of the biggest thing, and I guess we feel this way because our son's a place kicker, but I just kind of left that game feeling so bad for the kicker for the Browns.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Missed 2 extra points and then missed 2 field goals. And so.
Well, I mean, the truth be known, and we've talked about the Browns. Yeah. I'm telling you, I think the Browns are a good football team, and they're going to win this year. They're going to win some games, not just 1 or 2. They're going to win some games. And frankly, they should be 2-0. If they would have had the field goal, they would have won the first week. That would be a game that they tied with Pittsburgh. And then they would have – Mike could have won this game.
Yeah.
But he got cut. Did he get cut today?
He did get cut this morning, I think I forget who it was a bad week for kickers. I think the Minnesota Vikings kicker may be on the block, too. I think he missed 2 or 3 field goals on Sunday. So.
That's the tough part of the stress of that position.
Yeah.
Is, you're paid a lot to make those points.
Yeah.
Was there other things going on? Was it a bad snap? Was the ball in place, or was he just off?
No, nothing like that. I did read that he was getting an MRI on his groin, and he did look funny to me warming up. Like his technique looked a little different. Well, if he was
hurt, that's a totally different deal.
Yeah, and so now there's a little bit of controversy about that. Was he out there kicking hurt, and that sort of thing? Why didn't the Browns pick up on that? But
this was not his first game to kind of do that, though, was it? I mean,
it was back-to-back.
Back-to-back?
Yeah.
So he missed a 28-yarder to win the game. First game that Cleveland's won.
You could do that.
Wow.
Yeah, and dome setting, you think ideal, no adverse weather conditions or anything, but that was a tough one to watch. And again, I don't think there's any other position in football where somebody is held so responsibly, singularly.
Yeah.
Quarterback throws an interception. Well, he was pressured, or the guy ran around.
You're on an island. You're a little bit on an island.
Yeah, it's you, and it's I guess that's just comes with the territory. But anyway,
it was probably good for Corey to.
Yeah, what did he have to say?
Well, it was good for him because the previous game Friday night he missed a couple extra points, which is kind of a little bit unusual for him. And then when that guy missed his second one in the dome, he looked at me and said, "I don't feel quite so bad."
Well,
now.
And special teams is so important. You mentioned back to the BA game. I was going to ask you, how did they keep kicking it to K. Brown after he runs back 3 touchdowns?
Well, they actually didn't. One time they lateraled the ball to.
We lateraled it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we lateraled the ball to K. Brown.
And what happened?
He took it to the house. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Open it up.
That's coaching.
Yeah.
That's coaching
smart
right there.
football right there.
Yeah. But, so that's all I have for the Saints. It was a good game. Always good to be in the dome. It's loud. It's to me that's the quintessential NFL experience is going to the Superdome. So.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to talk to the producers of the show, and we probably need to do a Sports Buzz show because the doc, he went to the Browns game. That shouldn't count as your game of the year, doc.
Yeah. Well,
I think we need to
work on
get our Sports Buzz shirts.
And head down there.
Head down there. Maybe is there a Monday night game? We could do it live from down there.
On the trip down there? Yeah. Something like that. We can figure it out. We'll spread the word, see what we can do. Kickstarter campaign.
So the Browns, that's not the only thing they were up to today. Okay, so they had to deal with their place kicker, but they got rid of Josh Gordon.
I saw that.
So they traded Josh Gordon. The Patriots picked him up.
Okay.
So Josh Gordon becomes the latest and greatest Bill Belichick rehabilitation program project. Yeah, and some of them have been successful, and some of them have not. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Josh Gordon, it's a tremendous opportunity for him after being on the Browns team, losing so many years. Now he's with the quintessential Super Bowl team that's struggling. All right, so they lost pretty handedly yesterday to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. Jaguars had a pretty dominating passing game, didn't they?
Yeah, Blake Bortles played. If Blake Bortles played like he played yesterday, Jaguars easily a Super Bowl team. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Last night, this one's near and dear to my heart. Coming on, nothing assuages a Ole Miss Rebel wound like watching Eli Manning on Monday Night Football. So I was hoping for sort of an Eli-esque 5-touchdown outing last night in Dallas, and just got more of the same. And so the wound is just gaping now. And, for the first time, and I've never said I'm a huge Eli fan, been a huge Eli fan.
That's a tough environment to play.
It's a tough environment, but I think he is definitely nearing the end.
You think so?
Yeah. I just
give it a number. Give it a number. Be good.
I think this is last season.
How old is he?
37.
Okay,
that's fair.
I think this is it. If he doesn't get hurt, he definitely has a porous offensive line, but he has lost something. He's a different. He's been hit too many times, I guess, in the last 2 years, and it's unfortunate because he does have some playmakers around him, but they just can't get it going, and they're going to have to They're going to have to do something.
What's their record?
0-2.
0-2.
How's Barkley doing with the? Is a running
Barkley's
game
fantastic. You cannot tackle Barkley on the first guy that touches him, not tackle him. I think Chris Collinsworth pointed that out last night, that you can't bring him down, but
I guess for the play action pass it and working with that guy, it's not going to work with anybody.
That's right. That's my point. It's just not going to work. They're going to have to get a new quarterback. And that pains me to say that, but that's where we are. So can the Giants get it together? I doubt it. And they play
who's on deck for them? They have
well, they got rid of the Davis Webb. That was kind of their on deck guy. It's Kyle LaLuda. And they have another one, but I can't think of his name. But there's not anybody.
Not anybody.
No.
Too big.
So I guess the positive could be, got Saquon Barkley this year at the number 2 spot. You go ahead and hang another Duck season up. You get another chance to get your quarterback, and maybe let Eli trot around out there for one more season. But I think Eli's kind of getting done. So, what about Ryan Fitzpatrick? All right, did y'all see that today? He showed up at the press conference sort of a Conor McGregor looking. Sunglasses and all that, chest hair. So Twitter. Yeah. The big question is, Jameis Winston's coming off his suspension, then you've got Ryan Fitzpatrick in there just lighting it up.
So what do you do?
You stay with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I mean, the Bucs are 2-0 and looking strong. I think you stay with Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's what I would do.
Smart football. At that point,
I mean, they're just playing street ball. I mean, they're just
sticking with
Super Bowl champions.
Sticking with that.
They beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
They beat the Eagles and they beat the Saints. I mean, they're looking good. And Carson Wentz is back. Carson Wentz will be back under center for the Eagles. We'll see if that gets them going. But the Eagles are a good team.
Yeah,
the Eagles are a good team. So both of those wins that Fitzpatrick's in were significant. Also, you have. Patrick Mahomes now holds the NFL record for 10 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks.
The Chiefs quarterback.
10 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks. And so the previous record was Peyton Manning had 9 in the first 2 weeks at one point. So Patrick Mahomes has done that. So the Chiefs are a huge threat. Andy Reid's a great coach. It would always be interesting to see if, on the AFC side, there's vulnerability there for the Patriots and the Steelers, kind of the perennial.
That's what I was just about to ask. So correct me if I'm wrong, just because, again, I haven't been able to catch a whole lot of pro, but it sounds like there's a lot of these teams that are almost creeping up on some of these main, everybody knows the Steelers, the Eagles, and the Patriots, and the Cowboys for that matter, just, the 4 top teams that I think that people think about, but like Chiefs and the Buccaneers and the Saints and the Browns and people like that just kind of, it sounds like they're kind of making a run like out of nowhere. Like these teams.
The Bucs were last in the NFC South last year.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like right now they're the best team in the NFC South.
It might be the best team in the NFC. And you got huge disparity in the NFC, even in the the NFC East, which is a huge strongest. Atlanta's 2-0, aren't they?
I don't know.
Have to double check.
I know they won yesterday. But you've got a lot of disparity, so there's a lot of opportunity.
That's the word I was thinking.
But here's another statistic, an NFL statistic for you. Any team that is 0-2, you have an 11% chance of making it to the playoffs if you lose your first 2 games. So you look at all those 0-2 teams, and guess what? They're pretty much done. You heard that here. You heard that here. Another Mississippi mention, though, Laquan Treadwell got his first game TV yesterday against the Vikings. Of course, another interesting thing, 2 ties. We had another tie. We had Green Bay and Minnesota tied. Last week it was the Browns and the Steelers. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call this, and they're going to address that.
Just let them go to somebody.
You got to play to win. You can't have these ties.
I thought that was understood anyway. I mean,
well, they changed it up a few years ago. But what you don't want to fall into is the Ole Miss Arkansas 8-9 overtime game.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you got TV sponsors, you got TV shows falling back up on these networks, and they can't really do that. But you've got to play to win. There's got to be a win. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to do something. Yeah. The other thing to watch is the QB roughing call. In the Green Bay game, Matthews sacked the quarterback at Kirk Cousins in what looked like just a normal sack, and they called roughing, which really changed the dynamic of the game, kept the Vikings in it. And I mean, what do you do? And so I think they're going to address that. They're going to have to.
Right. Yeah.
There's already been 15 roughing the quarterback calls.
Yeah, maybe the pendulum swung too far the other way.
And so they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to cheat that back. But that's what we got for the NFL. Let's take another 2. What did you get?
I had one more story. I didn't mention to y'all this when we were pre-gaming, but Vontae Davis, did you hear about that? The guy that retired at halftime?
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke. Did that really happen?
Yes. Yeah. It did happen.
Oh, my God. Okay. I don't want
to forget the halftime retirement.
Yeah, first time that's ever happened. And I was reading, it basically probably cost this guy millions and millions. But I guess maybe he has hasn't played in the NFC or, I follow the Saints. I just didn't recall him, but he's apparently a 9 or 10 year veteran.
Yeah.
He's made a good living in the NFL and just kind of decided,
I'm done.
Yeah.
One half minute, I'm done.
Right then and there,
I'm tired.
Or his contract was up.
I'm not taping his ankle one more time. Well, look, let's take a quick break. We'll come back after hearing from our sponsors. We'll be back here in 2 minutes on Sports Buzz.
There is no better place to get all your local and complete pharmacy needs than at Clint's Pharmacy in Brookhaven. Come inside and visit the best greeting card selection in town, with all cards just 99 cents. But those days you are in a hurry, you can use Clint's convenient and fast drive-thru line. Now inside Clint's Pharmacy is Complete Family Medical, a clinic that takes walk-ins to get you in and out. Clint's Pharmacy, 201 Highway 51 North, Brookhaven. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and Saturday, 8 to noon.
Fall brings on two important pastimes in the South, football and deer hunting. Providence Hills Farm and Ranch on Highway 84 East is the deer hunter's destination. They have many varieties of food plot mixes, individual seeds, and fertilizers for the ideal deer plot. They also stock wild game treat, whole corn, Delta whitetail, and other deer feeds. Call ahead on large orders and it'll be ready when you get there. Happy hunting from Providence Hills Farm and Ranch, Highway 84 East, Brookhaven. Online, phfarmsupply.com.
Deer hunters looking for the best fall seed mix on the market? Buckbusters has 36% protein, contains 8 varieties of winter forage in the basic mix, and 11 varieties in the premium mix. One bag does 1 acre. It's specifically formulated for the Southeast. Contact your local seed dealer or Buckbusters at buckbusterseedcompany.com or call toll-free 1-800-562-4570. Buckbusters, the most complete and cost-effective seed mixes available.
Hello, this is Will Thibodeau with Sullivan Ford Lincoln. Football season is officially here, and we're kicking off our biggest sales of the year at Sullivan. With up to $8,000 off 2018 Expedition, 0% for 72 months on most models, plus cash back and no payments for 90 days, there's definitely never been a better time to buy. Bring your trade and trade up to a new Ford or Lincoln while the selection is best. Come see our family here or visit us on the World Wide Web at SullivanFordLincoln.com. Sullivan Ford Lincoln. We're better, we're proving it, and we want you to be the judge. Exit 40 Brookhaven.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back, everybody, to Sports Buzz. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are just now joining us, where have you been? We've had a pretty good show here tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're joining us right here at the end of our show where we have the schedules, the scores.
But I had a little bit. I remember I was going to drop just a little bit, and then we're going to go right into it.
I got you.
Don't cut my section short, Paden. Gosh. Okay, so, but just to be quick, in NASCAR, we had the first playoff race. Brad Keselowski won. So that's 3 races in a row that he's won. Cool. We'll give an update next week on the playoffs to kind of let it mature a little bit. Yeah, let it develop a little bit. And then the PGA returns this week. It's the last tournament of the season. Tiger tees off with Tommy Fleetwood at 12:30 on Thursday. So be paying attention to that. And we'll talk about the Ryder Cup the next week as that follows on the heels of it. Well, let's go to scores, picks, and schedules.
Scores, schedules, and
I didn't
picks.
say it right.
No, scores, schedules, picks.
SSP.
So for the scores, last week for local here, the scores were Pisgah beat West Lincoln 37-12. Stringer defeated Lloyd Star 41-21. Brookhaven Academy beat Ben's Ford Christian School 54-26. Good game there. Bogachita beat
56-24, but whatever.
Oh, was it? Okay, wrong score. 56-24. Yeah. Bogachita beat Salem Wildcats 43-22. Weston beat Richland 47-14. McLaurin beat Enterprise 19-16. Lawrence County beat Franklin County 28-0. Shut them out. And then BHS obviously was off this week, from like we mentioned last fact. The high school schedule for this week, those same teams playing this week. This Friday, Bogachita is
all the same teams are playing again.
Well, those teams I just mentioned are playing this week.
Each other?
Not each other. I'm going to.
It's like back to back.
You're not getting a segment next week. Bogachita versus St. Patrick this week. Brookhaven High versus North Pike. Brookhaven Academy at Silliman Institute. Enterprise is off this week. Lloyd Star is taking on Pisgah this week. Wesson at Mize, or M-I-Z-E. West Lincoln at Stringer. We got soccer for Brookhaven Academy versus Discovery Christian. Softball, September 18th, across the board, Brookhaven High takes on West Lincoln. Weston takes on Franklin County. Brookhaven Academy versus Adams County Christian School. September 20th, Weston at North Pike. And September 22nd is the Old Brook tournament for softball. And with that, that is your scores and schedules. And now let's get to schedules and picks for the SEC. Ryan, take it away.
Yeah, so Saturday, September 22nd at 11 a.m.
Wait, do we need to update these picks?
Oh, we can. We can do that real quick unless you want.
Yeah.
I got that too. So what we had here last week was Kentucky versus Murray State. Who had them? Who had that game? Kentucky versus Murray State.
I don't think any of us.
Nobody had that one. That's
okay.
why there's not a circle there.
Okay, I got to understand it now.
All the circles, man.
Tennessee versus UTEP was me, and I picked Tennessee, and I believe they won.
Yep.
That's 1 point for me. Vanderbilt at Notre Dame was Trey.
I picked Notre Dame.
And they won, so that's a point for Trey. Auburn versus LSU was your pick.
Yeah, I picked LSU.
Look at that.
LSU's 3 for 3.
Look at that.
Arkansas versus North Texas, and a very accurate pick and prediction of the future. I did North Texas.
I mean, did you just do that out of anger? Or did you really think North Texas was going to beat Arkansas?
The record that had been presented itself so far, yes, that way was out of anger, but it was also like, you know what? If it's going to be that, North Texas is going to come up on them, and they did. So
we get a point.
I get another point there. No circle there for Florida versus Colorado State, so nobody got that one. Ole Miss versus Alabama. I
picked Alabama.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I didn't pick it. We didn't pick that one. So we picked Georgia versus Middle Tennessee State.
That was my pick, and I got Georgia, and they won on that one. So that's a 3rd point for me. 6:30 or that night, MSU versus Louisiana had Ryan.
Yeah, I picked MSU.
And
good call there, Doc.
There's your 2nd point there. Missouri at Purdue was Trey.
I picked Purdue, which I was almost right.
Well, yeah, because
I picked it because I thought we were using the point spread.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Yeah.
And so with the point spread, I won. But based on you guys just aren't able to use the point spread because you just don't have that kind of skill level
on sports.
Right. Yeah. You don't have that skill level. It's a pick 'em here at Sports Buzz. I lost it. So, but the other thing was my other game that I didn't get to. It got canceled, so I get a 4th pick tonight, right?
Yes,
we've all agreed to that.
You get a 4th pick.
So I have. So Paden has 3. Doc, did you miss one, Doc? What was it, Doc's 3rd game?
Maybe they may not have gotten one. Maybe you give him one too.
Doc's gonna get a second. Yeah. So Doc Doc's already on the Southern Miss game.
Okay.
Doc, you got to pick another one.
We'll pick another one.
Okay, so the lead after the 1 week.
I'm in the lead right now with 3.
He's in the lead, and really, I think the Doc would have tied him, but somehow Doc only picked two last week. So anyway,
maybe
Peyton's
he was
in
the one that Ole Miss Alabama. We just never got to circle it. But anyway,
he picked Ole Miss then.
Okay, then you're losing. Anyway, let's go with what we got this week.
All right, for Saturday, September 22nd, 11 a.m., Ole Miss versus Kent State. Trey, that's your pick. Who do you take?
I'm going to go with the Rebels.
Point spread notwithstanding.
Point spread. I'm going with the Rebels and the over.
And the over, okay.
All right, 11 a.m., Georgia versus Missouri. Who are you taking?
If Georgia is really picked to go pretty far this year, and I'm going to stick with what I got last week, I'll go Georgia again this week.
Georgia's the real deal, yep. And I'm taking Alabama versus Texas A&M at 2:30.
That's the game. It's got to be the game of the week.
Yeah, we'll make that game of the week.
Vanderbilt, South Carolina, play at 3 p.m. Who are you picking, Trey?
Vanderbilt versus South Carolina. I mean, that's a tough pick there. My mind tells me to go with Vanderbilt, but go ahead and circle South Carolina for me.
All right. Kentucky versus Mississippi State at 6 o'clock. I think me and Paden are both picking that one. Yeah. I'm going with Mississippi State.
If they don't come out like they did in the first half and they kick it out, I'll go Mississippi State too.
Can I just pick against y'all on that one?
Yeah.
It's not a pick, but Kentucky's going to win.
Okay.
LSU
doesn't count as my pick, though.
We get you.
Okay, all right.
LSU versus Louisiana Tech at 6 p.m. I'm going with LSU in that game.
All righty.
Tennessee versus Florida. What say you, Trey?
I'm going to go with Florida. Well, I'm picking harder picks than y'all.
This is just how the cookie crumbles this week, man.
I mean,
we all got to do
it's ridiculous. I mean, look, that Case is getting to pick LSU versus La Tech. I mean, that's a hard one.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, anyway, go with Florida. Go with the Gators.
Southern Miss versus Rice, 6 p.m. Trey and I are picking on that one. I'm picking Southern Miss.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. What is it? It's the
top.
STTTTTT.
Southern Miss to the top.
Southern Miss. Is it not? Is it SMTTTT or it's just STTTT?
I think it's SM and then 3 T's.
So it's SMTTT. Southern Miss to the top.
Yep.
Got it.
Auburn versus Arkansas, 6:30. Paden's picking that.
Oh, obviously, again, I'm going to kind of echo you. My heart wants to go with Arkansas, but my head knows that Auburn is definitely going to pull that one out. Just because we've said it.
Auburn's not dropping 2 games in a row.
No, and Arkansas is not winning any of it this year. That's my pick for that. So I think that'll do it for us here at Sports Buzz. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Y'all got anything else before we sign off?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nope, I got nothing left. Is there an update on the Monday Night Football score? There's not. We're at a commercial break. Sorry, we can't give you all a live update as if you can't turn on your own TV.
Right. All right. Thank you so much again for joining us. We're here on B92 at Sports Buzz. Follow us on Twitter at Sports Buzz MS. We're gonna tweet out our YouTube link. You can always go to the YouTube channel for B92 and hear our show. It'll go live tomorrow morning.
And I heard from the producers of the show that if you put a comment on if you like us on Twitter and then you give us a comment, there might be a prize there for you.
There you go.
We'll announce what that prize is when we find out what it is, but there will be a prize for the winner.
This shows, and right, the like and the comment, we can do something like
Best comment,
yes. At Sports Buzz, that's at Sports Buzz.
Completely subjective.
Make sure you go to YouTube, also see us there. Thank you again to our sponsors, Clint's Pharmacy, Sullivan Ford Lincoln, Buckbuster Seed Company, and our home base, Magnolia Blues.
You know what? You didn't mention the sponsors enough tonight, Paden.
Well, let's mention them one more time. Clint's Pharmacy, Buckbuster Seed Company, Sullivan Ford Lincoln, and again, Magnolia Blues, who we really appreciate for letting us broadcast here each week. Also want to thank a very important person, Darren, back at the station.
Absolutely, Darren is fantastic.
Each week.
And you know what? We get the food from Magnolia Blues. So maybe if we got some free medicine from the pharmacy and a car from Sullivan Ford Lincoln, we might be able to talk about it more.
Yeah.
Like, we need some more experience.
That'll be the prize next week. We'll give away a car for the best comment.
From 92.1.
Yeah.
It'll be Skin 92.1 Sports Buzz, but it'll be a car donated by.
Yeah, I don't want to see any.
Donated by LaBelle Salt.
Okay, now we need to officially make sure that is a joke beyond all belief, okay? Because there is no way in the world that that's happening. So comment saying, I want a free car, this, and this. Anyway, so again, thanks to all of our sponsors, and we'll say them one more time.
That's one way to find out who's listening.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we can come up with I want a Bentley or some. Clint's Pharmacy, Buckbuster Seed Company, Sullivan Ford Lincoln, Magnolia Blues. Thank you so much for what you do. Thanks to Darren back at the station for running our board for us and coming up here and setting us up. This great little setup that we have here at Magnolia Blues. So for Sports Buzz, I'm Paden Phillips,
Ryan Case,
and Trey Waterloo.
We will see you back here live next Monday. Come on back. See you then.
Serving Brookhaven.